The twin suns of Kepler 452 bits cast long shadows across the rocky terrain as Dr. Elena Rodriguez adjusted her environmental suit's seals. Behind her, the gleaming hull of the research vessel Horizon's Edge reflected the amber-tinted landscape. This was humanity's first extended research mission to a potentially habitable exoplanet, and everything had been meticulously planned. "Baseline atmospheric readings are stable," announced Marcus Alvarez, the mission's chief environmental analyst. His voice crackled through the suit's communication system. "Oxygen levels are lower than Earth's, but within acceptable parameters for extended exploration." Elena nodded, her eyes scanning the rugged terrain. Jagged rock formations jutted from the ground like the broken teeth of some ancient titan. Sensors mounted on their exploration rovers had detected complex mineral signatures and tantalizing hints of potential microbial life. No one expected what would happen next. The first sign came as a subtle vibration, so slight that Elena initially mistook it for the wind. But Marcus's console erupted with warning signals. "Seismic activity," he shouted. "But this isn't natural. These are deliberate impacts." Before anyone could respond, the ground beneath their research camp exploded. Massive metallic tendrils burst from the rocky surface, each as thick as an ancient redwood tree. Mechanical appendages that defied traditional understanding of engineering technology writhed and twisted, revealing a massive subterranean structure. "Defensive positions," Elena commanded, her scientific curiosity instantly replaced by military training from her previous career in planetary defense research. The team had been selected not just for their scientific expertise, but for their ability to handle unexpected scenarios. From the emerging structure, something that could only be described as a biomechanical entity emerged. It wasn't purely organic, nor was it completely mechanical. Segments of living tissue intertwined with metallic components, creating a horrifying hybrid that seemed to pulse with an alien intelligence. Communication attempts failed. The entity, or entities, showed no interest in dialogue. Instead, they moved with calculated precision, targeting the research equipment with surgical strikes that suggested not just intelligence, but a deep understanding of human technology. Marcus's voice was tense. "They're systematically destroying our communication arrays. They don't want us calling for help." Elena's mind raced. This was no random encounter. This was a calculated assault designed to isolate and neutralize the human presence. "Emergency Protocol Omega," she said, her voice steady. "Activate defensive systems." The Horizon's Edge was more than a research vessel. Hidden beneath its scientific exterior were defensive capabilities designed for worst-case scenarios. Automated defense turrets emerged, their targeting systems already calculating trajectories and potential weak points in the alien structure. The biomechanical entities responded with a barrage of energy weapons that seemed to bend and twist through space in impossible trajectories. Normal physics appeared to mean nothing to them. "They're using quantum displacement technology," Marcus reported, his voice a mix of terror and scientific fascination. "Their weapons aren't just traveling in straight lines. They're finding the path of least resistance through multiple dimensional planes." Elena knew their survival depended on adaptation. Humans had always been masters of rapid technological evolution. Marcus analyzed their weapon signatures, finding a countermeasure. As the first wave of attacks intensified, the human team did something the alien entities clearly didn't anticipate. Instead of panicking or attempting to flee, they began methodically collecting data, analyzing attack patterns, and preparing a response. The battle for Kepler 452 bits had begun, and humanity was just getting started. 48 hours after the initial encounter, the Horizon's Edge had transformed from a research vessel into a makeshift war room. Every surface was covered with holographic displays, quantum analysis charts, and rapidly evolving defensive schematics. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood at the center of organized chaos, her eyes fixed on the latest data streams. Marcus Alvarez worked alongside Dr. Kai Nakamura, their xenotechnology specialist, developing what they hoped would be a game-changing defensive system. "Look at this," Kai said, rotating a holographic model of the alien weapon's quantum displacement signature. They're not just bending space-time. They're literally creating micro-wormholes to deliver their attacks. Marcus tapped a series of complex algorithms into the system. Traditional shielding won't work. We need to develop a predictive interference pattern that can neutralize their dimensional manipulation. Elena understood the stakes. Their small research team was now humanity's first line of defense against an unknown technological threat that could potentially decimate entire planetary colonies. We're not just defending ourselves, she reminded the team. We're collecting data that could save millions of lives. The alien entities had withdrawn after the initial assault, but everyone knew it was temporary. They were studying, analyzing, preparing for their next move. Humans would do the same. Dr. Aisha Patel, the team's quantum physics expert, had been working on something radical. She approached the group with a prototype device that looked like a cross between a communications array and a particle accelerator. I've developed a quantum resonance disruptor, she explained. Instead of trying to block their attacks, we'll use their own quantum manipulation against them. We'll create a field that destabilizes their dimensional attack vectors. It was a risky strategy. The device could either be humanity's greatest defensive breakthrough or completely useless. But risk was something the team had long since accepted as part of their mission. As they worked, the alien structure remained visible on their long-range scanners. It pulsed with an eerie, almost organic rhythm, suggesting a level of technological integration that defied human understanding. It was alive, yet mechanical, intelligent, yet utterly alien. Suddenly, Marcus's console erupted with warning signals. They're preparing another attack sequence, he shouted. The team sprang into action. Aisha's quantum disruptor was quickly integrated into the Horizon's Edge's defensive systems. Elena activated the ship's enhanced power coupling, routing maximum energy to the experimental defense mechanism. The alien attack came swiftly. Quantum-displaced energy weapons twisted through space, seeking their targets with mathematical precision. But this time, humans were ready. Aisha's device created a complex interference pattern. Where the alien weapons should have struck with devastating force, they instead fragmented, their energy dispersing harmlessly around the ship's perimeter. A cheer went up from the team. It wasn't a total victory, but it was a breakthrough. Humans had taken an incomprehensible alien technology and found a way to counter it in less than 2 days. We've created a baseline defensive protocol, Kai announced, his fingers flying across the holographic interface. We can now predict and counter their dimensional attack methodology. Elena allowed herself a small smile. The aliens had chosen the wrong species to underestimate. Humans didn't just adapt, they evolved, technologically and strategically, at an unprecedented rate. As the dust settled, she knew this was just the beginning. The Horizon's Edge was no longer just a research vessel. It had become a prototype for humanity's first line of defense against an unknown cosmic threat. The landscape of Kepler 452 bits had transformed. What was once a pristine research site was now a fortified defensive perimeter. The Horizon's Edge served as the central command, surrounded by a network of adaptive camouflage generators and quantum interference shields developed by the research team. Elena Rodriguez stood beside Major Jack Rice, a military liaison who had been part of an emergency response team dispatched from Earth. His arrival had brought additional resources and a strategic military perspective to their scientific resistance. We can't just wait for them to attack again, Jack said, studying the holographic terrain map. Geological data and alien activity patterns were overlaid in complex, color-coded layers. We need to understand their objectives. Dr. Aisha Patel had been analyzing the alien structure's energy signatures. It's not just a weapon, she explained, pointing to intricate data patterns. It's more like a terraforming device. They're not here to destroy us. They are here to prepare the planet for something else. The implications were chilling. This wasn't a simple invasion. It was a systematic process of planetary conversion. Marcus Alvarez had been working on their most ambitious project yet, a distributed sensor network that could track the alien entity's movements across the entire planetary surface. Small, autonomous drones disguised as local rock formations would collect and transmit real-time data. "We're turning their own tactics against them," Marcus explained. "Camouflage, adaptive intelligence, predictive analysis. We're becoming as unpredictable as they are." Their first opportunity came unexpectedly. One of the autonomous drones detected a secondary alien structure emerging from beneath a distant mountain range. Unlike the previous encounter, this time they would not be caught off guard. Jack activated the planetary defense protocol. Concealed weapon systems, developed from the quantum disruption technology Aisha had created, rose from carefully prepared positions. They looked like nothing more than natural rock formations until they powered up. The alien response was swift but not unexpected. Quantum-displaced energy weapons began probing their defenses, searching for weaknesses. But humans had learned. Each attack was met with a complex, adaptive counter-response that absorbed and redistributed the alien weapon's energy. "They're mapping our defensive capabilities," Kai Nakamura observed, "but we're mapping theirs just as quickly." Elena understood the psychological warfare at play. Humans were demonstrating something the aliens might not have anticipated, a capacity for rapid learning and adaptation that went beyond mere technological innovation. As the first wave of probing attacks concluded, the team gathered to analyze the data. They weren't just surviving. They were gathering invaluable intelligence about an entirely unknown technological civilization. "We're creating a comprehensive xenotechnology database," Aisha said, her eyes bright with scientific excitement. "Every interaction provides us with new insights." Jack smiled grimly. "And every insight is a weapon." The alien structure in the distance pulsed, almost as if it was considering its next move. But for the first time since the encounter began, the humans of the horizon's edge were not just reacting. They were anticipating. Humanity had found its footing on an alien world, and they were just getting started. 3 weeks after their initial defensive breakthrough, the team of the Horizon's Edge had transformed from researchers to something entirely new, strategic warriors of humanity's first interstellar resistance. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a holographic war room, her team arrayed around her like a well-oiled machine. Major Jack Reyes had integrated their scientific insights with military precision, creating a hybrid strategy that defied conventional warfare doctrine. "We're no longer just defending," Elena announced. "We're going on the offensive." Dr. Kai Nakamura unveiled their most ambitious project yet, a quantum entanglement weapon system that could exploit the aliens' own dimensional manipulation technology. "We've reverse-engineered their quantum displacement mechanism," he explained, "but we've added a uniquely human twist. The weapon wasn't just a tool of destruction. It was a sophisticated information-gathering and disruption device. Where traditional weapons would obliterate, this would infiltrate, analyze, and systematically disable." Aisha Patel had been working on the weapon's core intelligence system. "It's not just a weapon," she said, her eyes gleaming with scientific excitement. "It's a learning algorithm that adapts in real time. The more the aliens try to counter it, the more it learns." Marcus Alvarez had developed a distributed network of autonomous drones that would serve as both scouts and potential attack vectors. Each drone was essentially a mobile quantum computer capable of making split-second tactical decisions. The alien structure had been monitoring their activities, but now it would face something it couldn't predict, a truly adaptive human response. Their first strike came without warning. The autonomous drones swept across the planetary surface, creating a complex interference pattern that disrupted the aliens' dimensional communication networks. Simultaneously, the quantum entanglement weapon began its infiltration. The alien structure's response was immediate but fragmented. Its attacks became less precise, more desperate. They were fighting an enemy that didn't just react. It anticipated and evolved. "Look at their communication patterns," Jack observed. "They're becoming confused. They can't predict our next move, Because we don't have a single predictable strategy. Elena understood the deeper implications. This wasn't just a battle. It was a demonstration of human cognitive flexibility. The ability to think beyond linear strategies, to embrace chaos and uncertainty as tactical advantages. As the counteroffensive intensified, the alien structure began to show signs of systemic breakdown. Its once precise quantum weapons became erratic, its defensive mechanisms increasingly compromised. "We're not just fighting," Aisha said quietly. "We're teaching them something about intelligence they've never encountered before." The battle reached a crescendo as the quantum entanglement weapon penetrated the core of the alien structure. Instead of destroying it, they were systematically dismantling its operational capacity, learning from its technology with each passing moment. Major Jack Reyes allowed himself a grim smile. "Humanity's first lesson to the universe," he muttered. "Never underestimate our capacity to adapt." As the alien structure began to collapse, not from physical destruction, but from a comprehensive systemic failure, the team of the Horizon's Edge realized they had done more than win a battle. They had established humanity's first true interstellar defense protocol. 1 month after the confrontation on Kepler 452 bits, the implications of humanity's first interstellar conflict began to ripple across known space. The Horizon's Edge was no longer just a research vessel. It had become a symbol of human resilience and technological innovation. A massive holographic display filled the United Earth Galactic Council chamber. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood before a gathering of the most influential scientific and military leaders, presenting their findings from the encounter. "This wasn't just a defensive victory," Elena explained, her voice calm, but charged with significance. "We've gained technologies that will reshape our understanding of quantum mechanics, dimensional manipulation, and interstellar communication." Dr. Aisha Patel stepped forward, revealing the most startling discovery. The alien structure they had encountered was part of a larger network, a systematic terraforming process that had been ongoing across multiple star systems. Humanity had inadvertently interrupted a process that had likely been developing for centuries. Major Jack Reyes presented the military implications. "We've developed a comprehensive defensive protocol that can be rapidly deployed to protect human colonies. But more importantly, we've proven that humanity can adapt to threats beyond our current technological understanding." The quantum entanglement weapon developed during the conflict was already being studied by research teams across human space. It represented more than a defensive tool. It was a bridge to understanding technologies previously thought impossible. Marcus Alvarez had been analyzing the alien communication networks they had disrupted. They weren't just a single species, he revealed. They were more of a collective, a technological ecosystem that operated across dimensional boundaries. Our encounter was the first time they'd been successfully challenged. The political ramifications were immediate. The United Earth Galactic Council authorized the formation of a new scientific military division, the Quantum Frontier Research Initiative. Its mandate was clear: understand, adapt, and prepare for future encounters. "We're not just defending," Elena told the assembled leaders. "We're expanding the boundaries of human knowledge." Transmissions were already being prepared for potential diplomatic contact. If the aliens were part of a larger collective, humanity wanted to be prepared. Not with weapons, but with understanding. Jack Reyes reflected on their journey. What had begun as a simple research mission had become humanity's first true test on an interstellar stage. They had been chosen, or perhaps had chosen themselves, to demonstrate something fundamental about their species. "We don't just survive," he said quietly to Elena. "We evolve." Back on Kepler 452 bits, the remnants of the alien structure continued to provide invaluable data. What was once a threat had become the most significant scientific discovery in human history. The planet itself was being transformed into a research base, a testament to human adaptability. As the Horizon's Edge prepared for its next mission, the team knew they had changed everything. Humanity was no longer just a planetary species. They were becoming something more, pioneers of a new era of cosmic exploration and understanding. The stars seemed to watch and wait, wondering what humanity would do next.